Imagine this scene. You breathe in the pungent scent of sagebrush as the land awakes. Then, you hear it, the strange popping sounds like the uncorking of champagne bottles. A dozen male sage grouse are dancing. They strut and fan their spiky tails. They inflate and deflate their twin bright yellow throat sacs to make the popping sound. Occasionally two males battle each other with their wings, lurking in the nearby sagebrush. A few hens watch the dancers, as they will for many mornings in spring before choosing a mate. You're witnessing an ancient ritual. Sage grouse return to the same breeding grounds year upon year. Their elaborate courtship is often the focus of what we know about the bird, yet their life is fascinating at every stage. Two species include the greater sage grouse, including the geographically distinct by state population on the California-Nevada border, and Gunnison sage grouse. Appearance: a large chicken-like bird with a spiky tail that blends in with the sagebrush country. Males bigger than females and more colorful when mating. Sounds: click to listen to Gunnison sage grouse versus greater sage grouse breeding sounds. Habitat: vast, intact landscapes, dominated by sagebrush and grassland. Food: sagebrush leaves, entirely in winter, other plant leaves, stems and buds, and insects. Behavior: males gather to dance and compete with each other on leks each spring. Choosy females pick their mates, usually the most dominant males. Watch the greater sage grouse strut and watch the Gunnison sage grouse strut. Nests and chicks: hens lay an average of 6-9 eggs in a ground nest hidden under sagebrush. Chicks are downy at birth and ready to run after their mother. The greater sage grouse, Centrosicus europhaeanus, also known as the sagum, is the largest grouse, a type of bird, in North America. Its range is sagebrush country in the western United States and southern Alberta and Saskatchewan, Canada. It was known as simply the sage grouse until the Gunnison sage grouse was recognized as a separate species in 2000. The monobasin population of sage grouse may also be distinct. The greater sage grouse is a permanent resident in its breeding grounds but may move short distances to lower elevations during winter. It makes use of a complex lek system in mating and nests on the ground under sagebrush or grass patches. It forages on the ground, mainly eating sagebrush but also other plants and insects. Greater sage grouse do not have a muscular crop and are not able to digest hard seeds like other grouse. The species is in decline across its range due to habitat loss, and has been recognized as threatened or near threatened by several national and international organizations. The greater sage grouse is the largest grouse species in North America. This bird is sexually dimorphic. Male grouse have yellow claws and patches on the back of their neck. The top of their head is gray in color. They also possess brown and buff-colored upper chest, while their middle chest consists of a large white collar, hiding esophageal sacs which inflate at the courtship period. In addition, they have a notable black marking on their abdomen. Males have long tail feathers, which are tapered in shape. On the other hand, feathering of the female grouse is more cryptic, allowing them to use it as a perfect camouflage during nesting period. Their plumage is covered with gray and brown, having lower degree of white coloring compared to males. Typically, females have gray and white colored throat. They do not possess those esophageal sacs, and their tail is somewhat shorter than that of males. These birds are distributed across North America with their range stretching from southern Alberta and Saskatchewan in Canada to the western United States. Their preferred habitat is sagebrush of medium density, combined with other plants. The greater sage grouse occur mainly in shrub steppe and meadow steppe areas as well as hilly terrains adjacent to valleys. Greater sage grouse are quite social animals, gathering in flock, consisted of hundreds of birds. The sage grouse are diurnal birds. They are efficient in flying short distances and are not fast runners, though preferring to move around primarily by walking. When facing danger, the sage grouse will usually escape, hiding or flying. The breeding season starts in spring, when the birds congregate in leks, looking for mates. They gather on the breeding ground to perform courtship rituals. During the display, they unfold the struts surrounding their tail, filling and emptying their esophageal sacs with a loud booming sound, heard at a distance of a mile. In Washington, the sage grouse populations live in the sagebrush country, generally remaining within the same area throughout the year, except for winter months, when they move to lowlands. Great sage grouse are predominantly herbivorous. Typically, these birds forage on the ground, consuming buds and flowers of different plants. Their usual winter diet primarily consists of sagebrush leaves, while, during the summer, the sage grouse, and especially their young, will feed upon a wide variety of insects. They have polygynous mating system, where one male mates with a number of females. During the breeding season, which takes place in spring, males perform courtship rituals in special areas called leks, where the female constructs the nest after mating. She typically uses grass and forbs under the sagebrush as nesting materials and cover. And when the nest is built, she lays 7-9 eggs, incubating them for 25-27 days. The greater sage grouse rear one bred in each season. The hatchlings start flying at the age of 2-3 weeks, and at 5-6 weeks old they become strong flyers. Then, after first molting, at the age of 10 to 12 weeks, young become relatively independent. The major concerns are degradation, fragmentation, and loss of their natural habitat. Large areas with sagebrush communities currently turn to croplands and pastures. In croplands, these birds are threatened by herbicides and invasion of exotic plant species, which brings to unnatural fires. In pastures, excessive livestock grazing leads to reduction of their population within their home range. During the winter, the birds prepare for the approaching breeding season, gaining weight and strength by eating sagebrush leaves and getting required moisture from the snow. During the courtship displays, males usually stand to the side of the female, not in front of her. The reason of this is that the booming call they emit sounds louder off to the sides than straight ahead. As common among grouse species, males of the sage grouse do not participate in rearing the chicks. Greater sage grouse typically use the same lekking grounds for many years. Their stomach is capable of digesting tough sagebrush, upon which they primarily feed. Before performing the courtship display, males fill the pouch of their esophagus with air, hold it for a while and then squeeze it with force, thus beginning the display.